Because I was a massive fan of Rocket Man and Bohemian Rhapsody, I knew I was going to be a fan of this one, but there were still some parts that surprised me. Welcome to another movie review. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. My movie reviews are always spoiler free and I will leave a playlist of them linked up above in case you have missed any or you are looking for something to watch this week. Yes, I went to see Respect, which is obviously the Aretha Franklin biopic starring Jennifer Hudson as Aretha herself, or Riri as we refer to her throughout the film. It has some other very big names in there as well. Forest Whitaker plays her dad, and yeah, lots and lots of other famous people and famous faces to look out for. Definitely a star-studded affair. Now, this film is 2 hours and 25 minutes, and in my opinion, that is just too long. I feel like we could have shaved that 25 minutes off the end because the pace of the film generally does feel slow. I think I was expecting something a little more akin to those films that I mentioned at the beginning, which are quite pacey, even though they are longer films too. There's always stuff happening, there's lots of music and lots of action, and whilst, you know, there is a lot of story going on and there is a lot of music going on in this film, understandably so, I feel like the pace of it is generally quite slow. I feel like it took a long time to sort of get into our story of Aretha, and then it took a long time for the sort of early days to go by. I think it just it did feel like a 2 hour and 25 minute film, and so the pacing for me just was off. Obviously the music was excellent, and it was interesting sort of seeing the origin behind some of the songs that Aretha Franklin is known for. And I will say that, you know, from the beginning, from when I saw the trailers, or from when I knew that Jennifer Hudson was attached to this, I just thought that Jennifer Hudson was an excellent pick in this film. I really like her in films anyway. I absolutely fell in love with her in Dreamgirls, having not watched anything to do with her American Idol. I think that's where she came from. Background. I loved Dreamgirls and I loved her in Dreamgirls, and I still really enjoy listening to her on that soundtrack. And so, you know, I like the fact that she was attached to this, and she just does an amazing job of picking up Aretha Franklin's voice when singing and speaking as well. And so I think that it was really good to watch her on screen, and she's just captivating when she's on the screen. A lot of the times she is playing a sort of shy and retiring role, because that's the parts that we sort of get glimpses into that we wouldn't have seen before. And so I get that they're showing not all of the kind of stardom of Aretha's story, but the background and the gritty parts as well. And so seeing her playing a quieter, more reserved style of character was really interesting too, and I think it does show what a good actress she was. But yeah, coming back to the like grittier, darker side of this, there is obviously a lot in Aretha Franklin's background that, you know, isn't the happiest. She didn't have the nicest childhood, and she did have some demons, as they're called in the film, and those are explored fully. So it's definitely not one for the faint-hearted. There is some sort of more disturbing scenes in there. It's not like, you know, we're not going into like train spotting territory, but there are definitely some dark parts to it. So if you're thinking this is going to be like a family filled fun film, it is definitely not that. But yeah, I think it is a true representation of Aretha Franklin's life, and I thought they did a good job in terms of the sort of cinematography. A lot of it is a lot sort of darker than I expected it to be, and almost like muted tones. However, they have done some interesting things where we're seeing sort of footage of something that happened. So for example, I'll leave the video linked up above where I went to see Amazing Grace, which was a documentary footage that was shot of Aretha, of her performing 2 days of a concert in the church that she attended, and we see that all being set up in the film Respect. And then there's some footage where it's made to look like the footage from the film Amazing Grace. And so that bit, obviously I had seen the actual footage and then seen the film version of the footage. And I like the fact that they let us see what it would have looked like. And there's a couple of moments like that, like when things with Martin Luther King are involved, and like when things with Aretha performing at Madison Square Garden and the like are involved, and I like that choice as well. I think that the film was definitely quieter and darker than I expected it to be, but overall it still does have that feeling of your Rocket Man, of your Bohemian Rhapsody, and I love a biopic in general. I went into this one knowing that I was going to enjoy it. I definitely did enjoy it. However, I was surprised by some of the darker bits that I saw. Do you need to see this one on the big screen? If the film was just 2 hours, I would say yes, this was worth paying the money to go and see, because we've got these big concerts happening and these big Jennifer Hudson performances happening, these big Aretha Franklin performances happening, and then that choice to put in the like documentary style, newsreel style sort of filter over the footage being shot, I think is a good choice. And obviously, you know, the loudness of the music as well is great to see on the big screen and great to see. However, I will say, you know, I had to go and visit the bathroom twice during this film, and therefore I think I probably would have been happier watching it on my TV at home so that I could pause it and go and visit the bathroom and then come back. And so just because I think it's too long, and it's long because the pacing is slightly too slow, I would say it's a no from me as to whether you should go and pay your cinema going money to go and see it. I would wait and stream it at home when you can do. However, that comes with the caveat of having a good speaker system set up and sort of watching it on as big a screen as you possibly can. But yeah, I enjoyed it. If you like the aforementioned films, if you are a fan of a musical biopic as I am, then it's definitely one for you, but perhaps wait until you can watch it in a more comfortable setting, but with as good quality sound and visual as you possibly can. I will be back with another movie review for you next week, so do let me know in the comments if there is any particular movie you would like me to go and watch and share my thoughts on here. I know we have the new Bond film coming out. I am not a James Bond fan, but if you would like to see a movie review from the perspective of somebody that isn't a James Bond fan going to watch James Bond film, then I'm sure that we could make that happen. But yes, make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on my bookish content in the week. I will have my August wrap up, no, September wrap up, and my October TBR, how are we at October already, coming up. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss those. And yes, I will be back with a movie review for you next Sunday, so I will see you then. Thanks for watching.